Alexa Bliss in 2016 versus Alexa Bliss in 2020. Let's get into it, man. If you guys know, Alexa Bliss debuted back in 2016 on SmackDown Live. And ladies and gentlemen, let me get a huge announcement out there. I'm dropping a video, What If CR21 booked WrestleMania 37 as my 500 subscriber special. And again, thank you guys so much, because last night we hit 480 subscribers, man. We're almost at 500. So if you're new to the channel, show your support by liking this video, commenting, and subscribing if you're new. And yeah, man, let's get it straight into this video about Alexa Bliss in 2016 versus Alexa Bliss in 2020. When Alexa Bliss debuted back in 2016, a lot of people thought she was never going to make it. She was never going to have that potential. Even though she was a pretty good wrestler, usually in the WWE, size does matter. But only 4 months in on SmackDown Live, the Land of Opportunity, they showed that they were the Land of Opportunity when they put stock on Alexa Bliss, making her the first ever Raw and Women's Champion. And she won the SmackDown Women's title on TLC, taking it off Becky Lynch when she took the title 4 months in to her WWE career. Now that is tell you something, that talent is what matters more than size. But Alexa Bliss went on to have a pretty decent run, and she had a pretty decent feud with Becky Lynch that led to even a Mickie James return that people have been waiting for some years now. So that whole storyline turned out worth it, because it was the big return of Mickie James. She came back as a heel, full-on heel, as this masked luchadora, and helped Alexa Bliss retain her title. So now you could tell WWE has stock when they brought a future Hall of Famer, 6-time Women's Champion, to basically manage Alexa Bliss and help her win matches and just be her lackey, basically. So that's how you could tell for Alexa Bliss. And Alexa Bliss, she's that type of person that she usually never put on bad matches. When you watch an Alexa Bliss match, you're not always like, oh my god, this is so boring. And you don't believe me? She was going to have a match with Trish Stratus, arguably one of the greatest female wrestlers of all time. She had the record for the most titles, so Charlotte broke it. So Alexa Bliss was going to be in the ring with Trish Stratus at the first ever women's pay-per-view, and we're probably going to main event, or at least be near the main event. So that's how you could tell that Alexa Bliss was that good, that even Trish Stratus took notice. So sadly, she got injured. She never got to be a part of that pay-per-view. But nonetheless, that was her early runs in WWE from 2016 to 2018. She had the Little Miss Bliss gimmick. She had the gimmick where she needed people to help her win. You know, she had Mickie James, Nia Jax, which was fine. The only time I ever complained about Alexa Bliss was when she was having that feud with Bayley. Now, the match itself wasn't the worst thing in the world, but the booking and build was just horrible. Something that you just don't want to remember. Like Bayley, My Life, or whatever that segment was, that was just horrible. One of the worst segments of that year and probably all time. But other than that, in 2016, she was still doing pretty good. In 2016, Alexa Bliss was just coming in, and she got fans' eyes, and fans started to realize that Alexa Bliss could be a big potential. But now let's just talk about 2019, because we already talked about her Little Miss Bliss gimmick. In 2019, it was just her trying to put over talent. She was putting over a lot of talent, but the talent that she progressed led her to host that WrestleMania that year. WrestleMania 35 in MetLife Stadium, New Jersey. It was hosted by Alexa Bliss. And Alexa Bliss did a pretty good job at hosting WrestleMania, not gonna lie. After that, she went on to put over some other talent. And she put over Nikki Cross big time. So they were trying to do this pairing, because WWE had a lot of stock in Nikki Cross as a tag team player, other than a women's champion. So what they did is they paired her with Alexa Bliss, because Alexa Bliss wasn't doing nothing at the time, and they didn't want to put Alexa in the title picture yet. So they paired her up with Nikki Cross, and they were able to win the Women's Tag Team Championships off the Iconics on Monday Night Raw before SummerSlam. So that happened, and they went on to have a pretty good reign, and they had matches with the Iconics, then matches with other tag teams, and then they lost the titles at Hell in a Cell 2019 to Asuka and Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors. But then they were able to get that title back the following WrestleMania that we just had here in the PC. So they were able to win the titles back for the second time, for the first team to do that. So that was actually pretty cool. You could tell that they still had a lot of stock in Nikki Cross, and obviously they had stock in Alexa Bliss still. So that was good to see. And now, all of a sudden, back in July, when The Fiend put the Man of a Claw on Alexa Bliss, this was the turning point of her career. This is why we were interested. Like, we've never been more interested in Alexa Bliss ever since that feud. She was the big talking point of that night and the rest of the week, even month. So you could tell that WWE realized, like, we can't let this down. What we did right here is going to be a huge payoff. And that's what we got on the season premiere of Monday Night Raw back in October, when Alexa Bliss joined the Firefly Funhouse. Turned out to be the biggest talking point of that night. Alexa Bliss joining the Funhouse. It was just amazing. That segment was good. And we all knew this was going to be turning out to be a good partnership with her and Bray Wyatt. And now Alexa Bliss is someone that you want to see on Monday Night Raw. She's one of the reasons you're tuning into Monday Night Raw, just because of her work and the way she's progressing this gimmick. People say it should have been Liv Morgan. Nope, it just should have been Alexa Bliss. Trust me, Liv Morgan would never have done this type of work that Alexa Bliss is doing. No shade to Liv, I'm a big fan, but Alexa Bliss is just doing amazing right now. And even this past Monday Night Raw, when she didn't show up, everybody was talking about why she didn't show up. Like, they wanted to see her, like, for real. Like, when was the last time that happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just waiting to see Alexa Bliss. Like, this happened Raw. It just felt like kind of awkward. Luckily, the Fiend and that whole Bray Wyatt ending at the end, that was pretty cool. That kind of saved the whole thing from Alexa being missed. But it was because Alexa Bliss is filming some type of movie she's filming in Los Angeles, I believe. So that's why she missed. But she will be back next week, according to what I read. So, yeah. And hopefully she takes an RKO. If she takes an RKO, man, she has to be like breakout star of the year. Like, you would have never thought Alexa Bliss would be able to take an RKO 2, 3, 4 years ago. Come on. And yeah, and if you don't believe me that she's talented and all that, all these years, 5-time women's champion. She was the first woman to win both Raw and SmackDown championships. 2-time tag team champion. Money in the Bank contract holder. She was successfully also cashed it in. And she took all that talent and hosted WrestleMania, the biggest pay-per-view of the year, the biggest show of the year, was all hosted by Alexa Bliss. If that's not enough to tell you she was talented all these years, I don't know what to tell you. But it's good to see now that she's actually a mega star now, and I hope the best for her, and we'll see what they do. But I'm saying, if she takes an RKO, she will be breakout star of the year. I'm calling it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. 500 subscribers on the way, so make sure to subscribe, and I'm out. Peace out. Oos.